sponsored by Pine Rest. We're going to start with a statistic. More than 21.5 million Americans ages 12 and older had substance abuse disorder in the past year. It's quite a big number. And the good news is that there is an opportunity for recovery, and that is something that the folks at Pine Rest know all about. I am joined by Dr. Talal Khan and Mariah DeYoung. She is a social worker here at Pine Rest in their addiction services. Good to have you here, and thank you for joining me to talk about this. You guys, addiction kind of goes by a new name these days, doesn't it?
Addiction is still addiction. The name that has changed, what used to be substance dependence and substance abuse, has been changed by the DSM-5 to substance use disorders. That is to encompass more patients, and maybe we can help people earlier.
These are people who use drugs, alcohol, or both, right?
These are people who use drugs, alcohol, any addiction, gambling, internet addiction, sex addiction. All of that is inclusive in use disorders.
And when we say addiction, what do we mean by that?
Well, addiction is a disease of, like any other disease, like diabetes, high blood pressure. In addiction, we kind of have to overcome not only the stigma that has been there for hundreds of years, we also have to overcome the repeated failures that the family is kind of dealing with and the patient is dealing with on their own. So it's not just that the addict is dealing with their own emotions, which is, they kind of have to deal with guilt, shame, and the driving force of addiction, which kind of takes over the frontal part of the brain, and the reward center, and it kind of like reinforces itself. So the addiction is a disease which kind of makes itself perpetuate. It self-perpetuates. The social impact of addiction. A diabetic patient is, not to take anything away from the diabetic patient, they're struggling a lot as well.
Sure.
But their impact is on their own self and maybe some part of their family. Whereas the addict is dealing with not only themselves, their own quality of life, their family's quality of life, their immediate neighborhood is affected, their surrounding society as a whole is affected.
The ripples are far greater.
Exactly. And the beauty about this is that if we treat that addict, each addict will be able to have an impact in the benefits are also ripples that are going to affect society as a whole. And the earlier we get help, the more damage we can prevent.
Well, let's talk about getting help. Tell me a little bit about how you intervene and provide services to people who are struggling and their families, I suspect.
Here at Pine Rest, we offer services, the whole array, from detox to short-term residential, partial. We have an IOP that runs morning, afternoon, and evening. So
what's an IOP?
Sorry, IOP is intensive outpatient programming. So it's a 9-hour-a-week program, and because we offer it 3 different times a week, people can work and still be involved in that program, and then we have a variety of different step downs from there as people go through our program and become more ready to be in their recovery and stay sober. We also have family programming to be a support for the families, to help them understand what their loved one is going through and how to walk that line of being supportive but not enabling. So we really try to provide the whole array of services and meet the people wherever they're at and wherever they're ready to be and come in our doors.
Yeah, so talk about the getting into the doors. What does it take to get in here and get that help?
You can just call our phone number, 866-852-4001, and we'll work with you on getting set up in all those different levels, what insurances we take, what the cost is going to be, and if for some reason we don't work with your insurance or you're not able to come, we will provide you with a list of phone numbers and other places that you can go to.
All right, well, we will put all of that information on our website. If you want more information about what Pine Rest is doing to help people through their struggles with addiction, you can find it on our website. Go to WZZM13.com under the Exchange. Thanks.